Hi, my name's Vicky Jack. I'm a minister in the current 12th Legislative Assembly, and I hold the portfolios of Environment, Education and Social Welfare. I was elected into the 10th Assembly, where I served as a backbencher and learnt about political process here on Norfolk Island, the role of the administration and the role of advisory boards. My contribution done during the 10th Assembly was rewarded and recognised by the community, and I was re-elected into the 11th Assembly. I accepted the role as Minister for the Environment, and towards the end of that term also took on the portfolio for education. I am before you today seeking your continued support for re-election into the 13th Assembly. Education, and in particular the needs and requirements of children with special needs. Recently, this government gave a subsidy to NISI-DO. That subsidy allowed and assisted parents to meet with the development paediatrician who visited last week. I also met with the paediatrician and an observing clinician dealing with children with special needs in the New South Wales system. As a result, a report will be forwarded, and the principal recommendation of that report is that we need to provide, money needs to be set aside for an on-ground coordinator based here on Norfolk, and that position would be part-time. The role of the coordinator would be to liaise between clinicians in the New South Wales special education needs area with families with children with special needs here on Norfolk. It is important for early intervention in this area and to ensure that each child is given a program, a development that suits them. Should there be problems in their program, it would be the coordinator's job to contact the clinicians in New South Wales, substitute in some modifications and ensure that those modifications work. I believe a responsible government needs to ensure that every child meets their full potential, and providing funding for this area would ensure that children with special needs meet their full potential. Social welfare. There's been a fair bit of activity in this area during the last 3 years. Formal policies have been adopted that mirror those of Centrelink Australia. We have also ensured that immunisation for all children up to 12 months of age is fully subsidised through social services. Another program has been the Gardasil program. That too is fully subsidised through social welfare. But one area that needs consideration is the initial program looking at home care. Home care will need a coordinator based at the hospital and funded through social welfare. The role of the coordinator, in fact the aim of the unit, is to ensure that those elderly in the community can stay in their homes. They would be provided at minimal charge with equipment to assist them in their day-to-day living in their own homes. It is important that the elderly in our community maintain a full quality of life and a fair degree of independence. The role of the home care coordinator would be to ensure that those two aspects are maintained. So we have at opposite ends of the same string the requirement for funding for children with special needs to ensure their development and their capabilities are fully catered for, and then at the other end we have the elderly in the community ensuring their quality of life and their independence. Another portfolio area is environment. If we look at the need for a high temperature incinerator, there was joint funding provided between the administration and the Commonwealth in organising a report looking at what would be the best methodology in getting rid of our waste so we could stop using headstone. That report ended up with the main recommendation of a high temperature incinerator located at the Waste Management Centre. Unfortunately, funding became an issue and that program could not continue. However, in the intervening period, other technologies have come to the fore, namely pyrolysis. This system is in operation in certain areas and communities throughout Asia, and we need to see if it can be used effectively here on Norfolk. Those options, together with the high temperature incinerator, need to be reconsidered, recosted, so that an appropriate development application can be put in, funding can be considered, and the necessary referral under the Environmental Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act can be made. Another area is ants. The Argentine ant problem was identified, and the first program, again jointly funded with from the Commonwealth Department of Environment under the Natural Heritage Trust Fund, was carried out. The report on the effectiveness of that program has been made available to me on the 23rd of last month. Already officers of the administration are doing costings with regards to the next program. We need to speed their efforts along and ensure that we have funds to carry out the next baiting program before winter period sets in. I'd also like to remind the community that we have been advised by experts that the ant eradication program will be a good 5 years, and then we will have to ensure that any baits, any traps are free of Argentine ants for 2 years in order to say that we have eradicated that problem from our shores. Another area under consideration in the environment section is the development control plan for the airport. Just recently, in fact at their last meeting, the Planning and Environment Board considered the work that has been done for this development control plan. As yet I don't have the minutes from those meetings, but it is another important area, important plan that will be finalised in the next assembly. One area outside my portfolios that I would like considered is the area of the airline. Now, I fully support the administration and government, both having the contract and the administration of the airline. My problem is, do we need to keep up catering with meals on every sector? For a long period now, I've been asking my fellow board members to consider another option. I have not been able to garner enough support, although I feel that recently the mood has been changing because it has been asked to be looked into, but no papers have been forthcoming. We need to look at other options, in fact, going without meals altogether, or cheese and crackers, tea, coffee, soft drinks and juices. At the moment, the budget in this area is approximately $1 million a year, and I believe if we can say $500,000, it's that $500,000 is better in our pockets than somebody else. Those are just a quick overview of areas currently under consideration in my area. I'd like to thank you for listening. I wish all my fellow candidates well, and again, I seek your continued support for election to the 13th Assembly.